Saturday night that you guys immediately got a bond together. I mean, you were new to the center position, at least for this season, and he was new to the quarterback position. How did the bond happen so quickly?
Nate's a competitor, so I looked at him and he gave us the confidence. I'm like, man, we trust this guy back there, and it's easy when you got a guy with confidence back there. It's easy to block for them and build that connection with them. And Nate had a hell of a game, so I'm super excited for him.
Were you surprised to see that much confidence coming from a guy who never played?
Kind of was, because he hasn't played since his junior year of high school, and it's like, wow, like 3 years really hasn't played, and he just came in and seized the moment. You know what I mean? He made checks, made calls, put us in good position, switch out protections and stuff like that. I'm like, this guy's a freshman. Like, what is he doing? But he played great, put us in great position to win, and that's what we did.
Coach, go ahead, Chris.
Nate's first pass. It's third and long. They line up a nose tackle over you, and they design a blitz around him to Marcus, trying to catch you guys off guard because that's not always your alignment. But
right.
You guys picked it up like you normally play center. What goes into making moments like that happen?
So they brought that same pressure the year before and beat us on it. And Kenny escaped the pocket, but we knew they were going to bring it. It was just when we were going to bring it. We repped it all week in practice, and that's what Coach works over. The more reps and the more stuff we see some film, we got to pick it up in the game when they throw it at us. And they thought they could probably beat us with it, and we just slid right into it and had great protection, and Nate made a great throw.
That's got to feel really great. Looking back at last year, Quez was telling us how they had banners all over the stadium about that win, and you guys able to take that away from them. That has to feel good.
Definitely. I mean, running the ball for 250 or what we ran it for, that was great. Just to establish the run and get something going. And then Nate coming in and throwing for almost 200 yards as a freshman, that was awesome to see. But definitely a good feeling to get a win.
Coach talked about with you sliding over to center on Saturday, how you've gotten to play next to Owen and hear him call out the offense and the protections and everything. Well, how much have you exactly learned from Owen from that position standpoint?
I've learned a ton from Owen. I mean, he's been a great mentor to me and really helped me develop as a guard and center. And even the past 4 years, I've been taking reps at center just to be ready in any case. If I'm the third center, and so I got the opportunity. I just took it and ran with it, and he was a big help during prep. And we told me, hey, if we see this, call this, and just being a good teammate and helping me out.
What do you enjoy about center?
I love it all because I make the calls. I set the what we're going to. I ID everything. I love being in charge of the offense and getting the guys in the right position to make a play.
Any of the guys try to maybe help you a little too much with communication because you're the center. Typically, the center is the guy that kind of calls the shots. Was there anyone that was kind of like, hey, and you were like, I got this?
No, they all let me just run the show, which was good. But I mean, I just got to build that confidence with them that I'm going to be able to make the right call and just go with it.
So there was an indicator in the Western Michigan defense that let you know before the snap that blitz was coming.
Definitely, yeah. So if their foot was back, they were coming to you. So stuff like that, it's good to see that on film. You pick it up and you see it in the game. You can make calls out of something into a better call and stuff like that. So we definitely use that to our advantage.
So when a guy has his foot back, you think he might be rushing it?
Well, if he had his foot back, whichever foot was back, he was going to go that way. So,
okay. All right,
yeah,
gotcha.
definitely.
We were just talking with Daniel, and he mentioned the balance now the offense kind of has under Coach Cignetti. A lot of running, a lot of throwing. Obviously, the 2 wins have kind of come from both ways. How is that balance, and how is that important going into ACC play coming in next week? I know you don't want to look too far ahead, but with that coming up on the horizon.
It's huge. Getting a chance to really establish the run is something we weren't able to do last year. Granted, we had Kenny and stuff, and we could pass it 60, 70 times a game and be fine, but us offensive line, we love to establish a run, get something going, set our pads, and then throw the ball when we have to. But I mean, it's just great going to ACC play again. We're going to pass it against West Virginia and Tennessee, and then now we ran against Western Michigan. It's we got to even it out, and whatever it takes to win, that's what we got to do.
How did it feel as an offensive lineman, to be able to kind of just run it down their throats at the end of the game?
Oh, that was awesome. Just running the same play over and over. It was just great to just establish the run and because in past years, last year, we weren't able to really establish a run. This year, it's fun. We're having a great time. The offense line's having fun. That's what it's all about.
With how deep this running back room is it different blocking for different backs, or do they all kind of run the same? How does that work out?
They all run different, but for us, we just have to get everyone covered up. We have to get our guy, make sure our guy does not make the tackle, and if he doesn't make the tackle, then we're having a good play. So that's the way we look at it. We don't really, whoever's back there's back there. We just block it how we're supposed to and let them run.
Coach Powell said a lot of Frank Cignetti's playbook is a lot of the same runs, just in different formations. Does that make it easier for you as linemen to be like, hey, it's this concept, just block this way, so that you guys can kind of be more fluid when you're calling them?
Right, and that's the thing. We're just taught concepts. We just plug it in. they give us a different structure. We just plug in that concept and run with it. And that's what made the transition so easy. Was like, oh, it's this concept. We're just going to block it this way, you know. So there really wasn't much to it. I mean, but Coach Sig's been doing a great job, you know, bringing this offense in and establishing the run for sure.
Jake, what has Coach said to you guys about playing his alma mater?
He honestly, I've heard it once, but he hasn't really said much. He just said they're going to come in here and be hungry, and we just got to, you know, step up to the challenge.
Is that something you guys are talking about in the locker room, though?
Oh, definitely. You know, we're ready. Like they're going to bring their A game. You know, we got to play our best game and just do what we do.
Before we knew Nate was going to start, Coach quipped that maybe he'd put you at quarterback. Is that something you'd be up to?
Hey, I'll play where the team needs to. If it's quarterback, it's quarterback. Running back, I don't care. I'll play wherever. But no, I mean, Nate did a hell of a job.
What you see from guys like Ryan and other guys that were filling in for you guys and coming in at different spots to kind of help the line along?
Definitely. I mean, Ryan Jacoby, he's a heck of a player. They're all like our 1s and 2s could play. That's the thing, that we're so deep. That's awesome to have, you know, and that's why Coach has been, I think, you know, rotating guys to see who can play and everything like that. So I mean, it's good to get those guys playing time. They deserve it. They worked for it, you know, and stuff like that. But I'm just excited for this week.
There's been a lot of rotation. Do you think that'll continue through the season, or are you guys going to settle on?
I honestly have no idea. That's Coach Boers and Coach Newsy's call.
You ever play quarterback at any level?
I have no idea.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Ryan came over from Ohio State. I mean, that's a premier program as well as yours. Have you noticed that for him? Like, that looked like, hey, this kid came from this place and now he's fitting in with us. What do you say about Ryan doing that?
I mean, he shows up every day and he's ready to work. You know, whatever they ask for him, if it's playing fullback, tight end, or extra offensive lineman or guard, you know, he's ready. He accepts the challenge and he works every day. And he's a great addition for offensive line room.
Anything final? All good? Thank you, Jake.
Thanks.